You used a couple words there. I think you said service type codes and you talked about CPT codes. Can you talk about the difference between, what is a CPT code? How is it used? Why is it needed? And then what on the other side is the payer via Stedi returning to you, and how do you have to reconcile those two pieces?
CPT is probably the one that most listeners will be familiar with, right? We think of like CPT and HCPCS codes as being interchangeable. Simply, they're kind of the clinical billing codes that are sent on a claim. It's how providers translate the services that they delivered in an office setting into actually a billable unit. And the difference between that and a service type code is that the service type code is actually very specific to the eligibility checks that Stedi is doing, amongst others. And it's more high level. And so procedure codes are very granular. You'll have a procedure code that says, the excision of this 3 millimeter thing. It will be down to the specific patented drug. A service type code is much more high level in that typically they're set at what we almost call it or think of as benefit categories, which is you'll have a service type code for lab or a service type code for outpatient hospital. Now, obviously, then there's some kind of intricate mapping, and that's a mapping that we at Turquoise have done, which is what CPT codes equal labs and what are the conditions for those CPT codes to get billed and paid at the lab benefit or to hit maybe the outpatient hospital benefit, depending on where the care was done. Yeah.